going on, everyone? So, Stephon Castle was recently videoed working on the 500 drill. For those that don't know what the 500 drill is, basically the goal is to make 500 threes or shots, period, but 500 threes is what Stephon Castle was trying to make. 500 threes without missing 2 in a row. And the idea is like if you miss, then you start over. So it's just this fun drill for shooters to kind of just get reps up without, kind of making it a game and whatnot. And it also, basically get you in that zone, right? Because you don't want to get to 480 and then end up missing something or missing 2 straight. You're like, oh man. So love to see it for a couple of reasons. One, Stephon Castle, we need to see him improve his three-point shot. I mean, this Spurs team, period. One of the big kind of concerns of this Spurs team is the lack of three-point shooting, right? Like, you look at this team and it's like, man, they are flushed at guard position, they solved the center position. They got some good, sizable, versatile wings, some defensive pieces, everything that you could ask for a young team. However, it's like, how is their three-point shot going to fall, right? Wemby, he can be very streaky. He likes to take like 9 a game. Obviously, he can improve. He can get better. He's very young, but from what we've seen the last few years, very streaky. Like Dylan Harper was not a great three-point shooter in college. We didn't really get to see him much in Summer League, but the limited run that we did get to see him in Summer League, he wasn't shooting the three ball very well. Right? Stephon Castle wasn't a great three-point shooter last year. De'Aaron Fox can be incredibly streaky. He's not a great three-point shooter. And he's basically a finished product. Not saying he can't get better, but those are questions. You kind of look down the list, and it's like Harrison Barnes, Julian Champagnie, guys like that are probably your best three-point shooters. Who are going to be those other guys? Devin Vassell is another guy I think you could add to that list. He can even be up and down, hot and cold at times. And in particular, last season was not a great season for him as far as consistency goes. But if Stephon Castle can kind of create that, and I'm not talking about him shoot 43% from three-point range or anything like that. I'm not expecting him to take, some insane strides. But if he can just be serviceable enough, if he can just be good enough to keep defenses honest and apply pressure, I think that could do wonders for this Spurs team. Also, again, it's like, where are you going to slot Stephon Castle? Right? That's kind of the big question, because it's like, okay, well, you could go either him in the starting unit at the 2 alongside De'Aaron Fox and just kind of have that head of the beast in the defense side of things in the backcourt, kind of be your first line of defense, or you could slot him in at the 3 because he's got the 6'6" size and length and versatility to kind of defend 1 through 3, and you can kind of put him out there, maybe a Devin Vassell at the 2, or you could bring him off the bench, kind of let him man the second unit. So then, okay, are you bringing in, a Dylan Harper? Are you doing Harper and Stephon Castle off the bench? How do you want to approach that? The good thing is about the Spurs team, they have a lot of different kind of possibilities and configurations lineup-wise that it's a good problem to have, right? It's very different when it's like, well, this guy, we don't even know if he's a starter or a rotation. No, it's like you can make an argument for like 12 guys on this team, which is really good. They're also very young. You need to keep that in mind. But you look at last year, it really can only go up, right? It's not like he had a solid shooting season where you could be like, well, it is possible he could drop, right? No, like he's basically, unless he just decides to take 1 3, miss it, and leave it alone, he's probably going to be better this year shooting the 3 ball than he was last year. And I say that because last year on 4.1 attempts, he shot 28.5% from three-point range. So he didn't even shoot he shot pretty bad, right? Like, I don't want to beat around the bush, right? It's fine. It's not like a knock. It's not he was a rookie coming in that was just the Swiss Army knife. One rookie of the year was fantastic, right? I don't want to sell him short. I'm not trying to make this like, oh, he was terrible. No, he wasn't a good three-point shooter last year. But that's a good thing because that means he can only improve and get better, right? And the fact that he's actually putting in the work and getting the reps, and you're getting these videos. And I mean, you've seen guys like Jeremy Sohan working on the game and working on his reps and doing all those things, right? Stephon Castle, you're going to need to start making tough decisions at some point. Not saying necessarily this season, but at some point you're going to have to make some tough calls on your guard depth. Right? You're very likely not going to be able to keep all these guys that you have, whether guys just phase out contract-wise, whether guys phase out, player-wise, and it's like, okay, this guy rises to the top, but this guy falls down. Stephon Castle, yes, he's great, and he could end up being that long-term piece, but he could also be the guy that we're looking to maybe move and get off of. Same thing with a Dylan Harper, right? Dylan Harper, yes, there's this thought like, hey, he's going to be the next great superstar or whatever. Could be De'Aaron Fox. It could be Devin Vassell. I think Devin Vassell's probably the odd man out at some point, but how do you make that happen? You make sure that you're working on your game to the level in which especially this team needs in areas, right? Stephon Castle's probably going to play a lot of off-ball. You'll probably play a lot off ball because you have De'Aaron Fox, who, when he's on the court, is going to be a primary playmaker and your primary on-ball option, right? So if you have Stephon Castle out there, he's going to do that. Dylan Harper, same thing. If Dylan Harper's out there, you're probably going to have him play on ball. I'm not saying Stephon Castle won't get opportunities, that Stephon Castle won't get the moments to be on ball and be able to make plays and do those things, but it's very possible that he's playing a good majority, if not the majority, off ball, to where, De'Aaron Fox and Devin Vassell and Dylan Harper and all these other guys, he's going to need to be able to have a reliant, consistent three-point shot. He's going to have to be able to knock it down. Again, I'm not saying he has to shoot the lights out and be a 43% three-point shooter, but this year, can he move to like 34%? Right, which, that's significant. From 28.5% to 34% is significant in and of itself. It's not like league average; it's still pretty low, but it's like that's huge strides. And then, then move into the 35, 36%, and then 37. And even if he just kind of tops out at like a 37 to 38% three-point shooter, that's still really good. That's still somebody that you can rely on and trust, and is going to put the pressure on opposing defenses. And you're not going to be able to leave open in the corner, and you're going to have to kind of keep and be mindful on, right? And he's going to have those moments. He's going to have those explosive games. He's going to have those things, right? He needs to be able to do all those things. Same thing with the Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox. Like I said, he can be kind of streaky. He can be hot and cold, right? Victor Wembanyama, can he kind of continue to take strides, especially if he wants to take 9 a game, right? It's one thing if he's taking like a handful and shooting, 34%. It's not a thing when you're taking like half of your attempts and shooting 34%, right? Like that's not a good spot to be in. That's not a good position to be in. But we'll see. Time will tell. It's very promising and very exciting to see a Stephon Castle working so hard on the defensive side of things, working so hard on the offensive side of things. We know he can defend. We know he can do those things. But working so hard on his game, doing these drills, doing these shooting drills, shows a lot of promise. Because like I said, he's a very incredibly young. He's young enough to have been drafted in this year's draft even, right? So there's still a plenty of upside, plenty of potential, plenty of promise. And I'm really excited to see kind of his steps from year 1 into year 2 on the shooting and the offense and all of those things. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Are you excited for Stephon Castle this year? And do you think he'll take strides shooting the 3-ball? That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Lets me enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.